Tonight on CTV News, increasing risk of severe drought.
We all have a critical role to conserving our water this summer.
Why this year is expected to be worse than last year, the major environmental concerns with a warmer summer ahead.
You know, it kind of feels like you're being boxed in.
Out of control wildfires raging near Penticton, dozens of families ready to leave at a moment's notice.
It's a tragedy and it's an awful story.
The cycling community is shaken after one person was killed and 2 others injured in the Okanagan Grand Fondo.
This is CTV News with me, Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Drought conditions are worsening in the southern parts of BC, and officials are sounding the alarm about the heavy toll it takes on farmers and wildlife. That's why we're being urged to conserve water to prevent the situation from becoming more dire. CTV's Rob Buffum has our top story.
Hot and drier than normal conditions, combined with the snowpack melting earlier than usual, have the province raising awareness and concern about drought, especially in the southern interior and northeast of BC.
We all have a critical role to conserving our water this summer, especially in areas where we're facing water scarcity.
As a result, water conservation is being urged. Folks asked not to wash their cars every week or water their lawns daily. Turn off the tap when brushing their teeth. But mandatory water restrictions may have to be imposed if weather conditions persist.
These are things that we can all take that allows us not to make those tough choices to have to turn off the taps, for example, for different industries or different users.
For ranchers, including Brad Chappell in the Comox Valley, battling the challenges of summer drought have become all too familiar parts of the job. He's harvesting crops before they get too dry and buying feed from other sources because it's too parched to grow enough on his farm.
For the person sitting at home, it's like going to work for 2 weeks and maybe not getting paid as much as they should get paid, right?
It's not just farmers dealing with the dangers of dryness. River ecosystems and the fish that spawn in them as well. Some rivers already facing low levels, putting salmon at risk.
Levels drop, fish might not be able to reach their spawning habitats, will disconnect habitat.
The government says some communities, it won't say which ones, are not being careful with water. Up to 70% of total water use in some areas is residential. And it's pleading with people to be more mindful.
So we're asking everybody listening today to be able to do those tiny little things that they may think won't make a difference, but it absolutely does.
Whether any restrictions are imposed likely depends on how much rain we get in the coming weeks.
Rob Buffum joins us live from Victoria with more. Rob, I understand the province has changed its system for rating drought conditions. Tell us about that.
That's right, Jung. We learned today that the system has been changed for a 0 to 5 system that focuses solely on drought. It separates and measures separately water scarcity based on water needs and uses and focuses, as I say, just on drought. It's something the province says other jurisdictions in North America already do, and it really recognizes the impact specifically of climate change. Jung.
Rob Buffum reporting live tonight from Victoria. The drought conditions are also a concern in the wildfire fight. Much of southern BC under moderate fire risk, with some areas at high and even extreme risk. Penticton residents are facing 3 wildfires in their area, one that is threatening homes. Our Penny Defloss has the details.
The August Lake fire came so close to homes in Princeton, dozens of residents were forced to evacuate their homes. By noon on Monday, they were allowed back as the situation improved, but tensions remain high as 84 properties remain on evacuation alert.
Just a big plume of smoke south of us, plus the fire here next to us, the fire down by Karamias in the cathedral area. You know, it kind of feels like you're being boxed in.
The community has faced wildfires and flooding repeatedly in recent years, and it's taking a toll.
There's fatigue. Whenever you get these things, PTSD starts showing up again. There's like a level of anxiety.
After a fairly calm day, unsettled weather is now on the way.
Our Emergency Operations Center is actively monitoring the weather within the area. As you know, the winds are able to change the direction of wildfires pretty quickly.
While BC's wildfire season hasn't been exceptional so far, Canada-wide, it's a different story.
It is a pretty severe fire season. It's actually the second most severe on record to date, the first being in 2023. As of today, we have burned 5.3 million hectares across the country,
with the prairies bearing the brunt and an influx of international firefighters helping them.
We're at National Preparedness Level 5. Wildfire is severe in multiple jurisdictions across the country, and that all of our firefighting resources are actively engaged.
And BC isn't out of the woods yet, with plenty of summer still left. A severe thunderstorm watch is now in place for the Kootenays and Thompson-Nicolet regions, as everyone braces for what could come next.
Since 2017, we've been emergency after emergency in our community or around our community. So this seems to become the new normal, unfortunately.
The BC Wildfire Service has recorded more than 500 fires this year, with 70 burning at this moment. Penny Duffloss, CTV News, Vancouver.
And for all the latest wildfire news, download the CTV News app. You can also scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen to link to us online at ctvnewsvancouver.ca. Turning now to a tragedy at a townhouse complex in Surrey. A toddler was struck and killed by a driver as she was outside with her family. As CTV's Reagan Hasegawa explains, police say it's a heartbreaking reminder to drivers to be on the lookout for children playing outside this summer. And a warning, the details of the story may be upsetting to some viewers.
This is every parent's worst nightmare. We now know the victim was a 3-year-old girl, and she was with her family when she was struck by a vehicle in the roadway. The horror unfolded shortly after 8 Sunday night. It was a bright, sunny evening, and many children were out playing in the complex. But then, tragedy struck.
The kid was on the other side and saw the sister was trying to come to the sister to go to the playground, and then the kid went under the car.
He called 911.
Dad is holding the baby, and kid's bleeding so much, like it was really bad bleeding. I was trying to feel the pulse of the baby. By the time I kind of sensed out that baby already passed away. It was brutal.
Despite the best efforts of first responders, she did not survive.
This family is from Afghanistan, came here as a refugee. Very nice family. My kids was always playing with them, and they're all upset.
Police say speed and impairment were not factors in the crash.
The driver is an adult male and remained at scene and is cooperating with the investigation. There's no indication at this point there's any criminality behind the collision.
But he says the tragedy is a stark reminder that the summer weather draws many more children outside.
If you're driving, slow down, know that there's going to be a lot of kids out there enjoying the summer evenings. And we want parents and kids to be mindful that these streets are busy.
Kids are here to play and grow. We should give them a chance to grow and do not overspeed.
Police have already spoken with a number of witnesses, but they're asking anyone with information or who may have dash camera or surveillance video to come forward. Reagan Hasegawa, CTV News, Surrey.
To breaking news, Vancouver police are investigating another homicide after a woman was stabbed to death in Vancouver's Gastown neighborhood. Mary Cranston is following this in the Breaking News Center. Mary?
Mijang, this happened early Sunday morning around 4:30 a.m. It happened near Carroll and Water Streets, a busy area that's typically bustling with tourists, especially in the summertime. First responders rushed to the scene to provide medical aid. The victim sadly died in hospital later. She's been identified as Ivy Michelle Bell from Surrey. She was 40 years old. A 31-year-old man was arrested but has since been released, quote, pending the completion of the investigation. Police believe the victim and suspect knew each other. Mijang.
Thank you, Mary. To shock and heartbreak in the Okanagan, one cyclist was killed and 2 others seriously injured after being struck by a vehicle during a cycling event in Penticton. Now, questions are being raised as to what led to the tragic collision. CTV's Kevin Chirac has more.
We're also on open roads, so there will be traffic.
Organizers of the Okanagan Grand Fondo released this video about a month ago, showing participants this year's new route and where to be extra cautious. On Sunday morning, a cyclist was struck by a vehicle and died on scene. 2 others were seriously injured and sent to hospital.
It's just devastating because this is the first time that something like this has happened in Penticton with Grand Fondo.
Penticton Mayor Julius Bloomfield says the victim was a woman from the Lower Mainland and her family's been notified. It happened on White Lake Road near a golf course, a stretch the mayor describes as a country road and not usually busy.
The road was well marked, it was well governed, and the traffic control was highly visible.
The course ran 155 kilometers through the South Okanagan, and even with volunteers and road closures, Whistler Grand Fondo founder Neil McKinnon says safety is a constant challenge.
It's hard to mitigate all issues, and I'm sure the people who put that event on were very, very professional in what they did, but accidents happen, and sadly, when you have an interaction with a cyclist in a car, the outcomes are never good.
The tragic death comes months after a woman was killed in a cycling event just outside Victoria, and just days after another cyclist was struck and killed in a hit-and-run in Prince George.
Cyclists are always vulnerable. Cars always have the upper hand.
This cycling safety advocate reminding drivers to stay alert.
Of course, cyclists have to obey laws, wear helmets, and do everything they can to keep themselves safe. But ultimately, the real danger is for the cyclists, not for the car drivers. So it's up to drivers to keep clear of cyclists.
You know, if we have a mutual respect for each other, and then that goes a long way in solving some of these issues.
Okanagan Grand Fondo posting via social media saying it's heartbroken and cooperating with police. Both the event organizer and RCMP did not respond to our request for an interview before deadline. Kevin Chirac, CTV News.
The BC woman who killed Rena Verk as a teenager has had her parole privileges revoked after testing positive for methamphetamines. The Parole Board of Canada confirmed the failed drug test is why Carrie Sim, formerly Kelly Ellard, was arrested in January. Sim is serving a life sentence for Verk's 1997 killing, but has been regularly allowed day parole since 2017 to raise 2 children she had while in prison. The board says her parole was revoked June 23rd, adding that she failed to provide urine samples twice before the failed drug test. It's been 10 days since a mother of 2 was murdered in a Kelowna parking lot, allegedly by her estranged husband. A local business owner who knew Bailey McCourt has organized a fundraiser called Bailey's Day to raise money for her family and awareness about victims of domestic violence. CTV's Shannon Patterson has the story.
In 2022, bride-to-be Bailey McCourt chose a Kelowna bakery called Cupcations to make her wedding cake and cupcakes.
She was just a very bright light, amazing smile, a very proud mama. She was just really happy to be planning her special day.
On Friday, July 4th, Phillips learned a woman had died after allegedly being attacked by a man with a hammer in a parking lot just 2 blocks from the bakery.
I stopped dead in my tracks when I got to the name of the victim, and my husband kind of looked at me and he says, "Do you know her?" And I said, "We did her wedding. We do her kids' cupcakes."
James Plover, the man McCourt had married back in 2022 and the father of her youngest daughter, who had just been convicted that day on 4 counts in a domestic violence case, has been charged with her second-degree murder.
I started to cry and then just decided that creating Bailey's Day was what I needed to do.
On Tuesday, every dollar customers spend at Cupcations will be donated to Bailey McCourt's family, and other Kelowna businesses have jumped on board, ordering cupcakes that they will sell by donation.
At this point, I think we have 6 different veterinary clinics. We have a couple of lawyers. I have lots of amazing corporate clients that I deal with all the time, and I've been getting phone calls from them for pre-ordering.
Phillips hopes Bailey's Day will also shine a light on victims of domestic violence.
The system definitely failed Bailey. It fails most victims of violence. Something's got to change. One thing that the family said to me when I was speaking to them is they pray that Bailey's death is not in vain, that we can make some change if we all just make our voices heard.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
45 affordable homes in Richmond have officially been protected, giving longtime tenants peace of mind and a place to stay in the community they call home.
Nothing is scarier for people who have been living in a home to see a for sale sign on the front of the lawn. The questions go through your mind. What happens when this building is sold? Who's going to buy it? Are they going to redevelop it? Where are we going to go? Are kids going to have to move to another school?
Tikva Housing bought the 45-unit building on Westminster Highway with help from the province's Rental Protection Fund and the Ronald S. Roadberg Foundation. The move locks in below-market rental rates and prevents tenants from being displaced. After a dismal start in home sales this year, June offered a glimmer of hope for the industry. There was a slight increase in home sales across the province, but it's not the case everywhere. CTV's Craig Krause looks at how the threat of tariffs could be cooling the market in Metro Vancouver.
Real estate in BC is seeing a slight shift.
Markets on the island, markets in the interior have more or less gotten back to normal after a pretty slow start to the year.
Sales across the province up 1.3% from last year. The average home price falling more than 4% to below $955,000. But there is one region still lagging.
A normal month for the Greater Vancouver region for July is like 3,000 sales. We're about 2,100 or so.
Greater Vancouver down 9% year over year in June. The Fraser Valley not far behind.
In June, it did clock in at record low sales. It's a 20-year low for sales. That's just a reality.
Vancouver area realtor Amy Luong remains busy, but says the industry isn't what it was a decade ago. The downtown condo market is soft, as detached homes further east gain steam. A glimmer of hope during a roller coaster of a year.
And now we're in this, interesting environment, we'll say that, globally.
An environment that the BC Real Estate Association believes was brought on by several economic factors. One being
tariffs. The higher the tariff.
Another tariff threat just last week, leaving Canadian industries holding their breath and employees feeling the pressure in preparing for possible layoffs.
This is just the latest in what I expect to be an interminable saga of threats and counter threats and climb downs. And so businesses, if they're going to make a long-term plan, at this point, the long-term plan has to be that this is the new normal, and businesses have to be able to respond to it.
So I just think that, if they lift the foreign buyers ban, there's obviously been some chat.
A potential tool to bring relief, regardless, as many wait to see what happens next. Luong remains active and believes the future is bright.
This month, I think we're close to 10 deals. So I think for us, we're very positive people. I do feel optimistic. It's just we have to get over this hump right now.
Craig Crow, CTV News, Vancouver.
A striking new public art piece now towers above one of Vancouver's busiest intersections, honoring Coast Salish stories and traditions. A traditional blessing was held today to officially welcome Sanulke, a 40-foot sculpture, to West Broadway and Granville. The work, created by artists James Harry and Lauren Brevner, has now become a permanent part of the new mixed-use development South Granville Station. The piece is inspired by a double-headed serpent that is shared within the oral histories of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. It's meant to serve as a cultural landmark and gathering place. Interested in scoring tickets to a World Cup game next year? The first round of tickets has been released, and you'll have to dig deep.
The most concerning of the reports involved a tourist kicking one back into the water.
Reports of illegal behavior around seal pups, what people are doing when the seals are found on the beach. When CTV News at 6 continues, stay with us. If you want to guarantee your seat at the World Cup next year, be prepared to pay big. The first wave of ticket packages is now on sale with some jaw-dropping prices. FIFA's official partner On Location today releasing its premium hospitality packages starting at around $2,500 and climbing to as high as $40,000. The packages include gourmet dining, VIP lounges, and top-tier seats. Fans can expect to see some more affordable ticket options drop this fall. A wildlife organization on Vancouver Island says it has received some alarming reports of seal pups being interfered with and in one case actually kicked. CTV's Brendan Strain reports.
Over the last few weeks, we've gotten some reports of harbor seals being left by themselves on the beach.
With it being pupping season, that isn't an uncommon situation. Often mothers will leave their young for a short period of time on shore while foraging for food. What is uncommon and almost incomprehensible is what was reported to Wildwise last week, stemming from an incident in Victoria's Inner Harbor near Fisherman's Wharf.
The most concerning of the reports involved a tourist kicking one back into the water, and then another tourist went into the water to try and retrieve it.
Outside of the animal cruelty that was involved, Molly Cameron from Wildwise says it's illegal to get too close or to touch wildlife. Another incident from last week in Esquimalt set off more alarm bells for her organization.
We've had another incident of a pup alone on Sax Point Park, and a lot of people crowding around it, posting its location online, which, you know, well-intentioned likely, but draws in a bigger crowd and then creates a lot of stress for that animal.
Many of the calls coming in are people observing what they feel is a harbor seal pup that does need to be rescued. Not always the case.
If in fact a seal pup has been abandoned, the Vancouver Aquarium Marine Mammal Rescue Society will step in.
I'd say we have 5 or 6 specifically from the southern part of Vancouver Island right now.
What should you do if you encounter a seal pup alone on the beach?
The aquarium has produced a slick video outlining what you should do if you come across a baby seal that you think may be in trouble.
Whoa, wait, don't touch it. Stay back, keeping pets and people away. Call the Vancouver Aquarium Marine Mammal Rescue Society.
And then we can run through a series of questions on what to do in certain instances.
You'll most likely be asked to take a picture of the seal from a safe distance away. Note its location, and the aquarium will evaluate its health. If it's been left for more than 24 hours or assessed to be in poor health, the aquarium will send help.
We shouldn't be touching marine mammals at all, unless, again, you are a trained professional, whether it's with your feet or your hands or anything, you should be 100 meters away from it at all times.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
It's World Orca Day, and right on cue, some of the majestic mammals made an appearance close to home over the weekend. This video posted to social media showing a pod of orcas making a splash in Burrard Inlet right off Vancouver's Jericho Beach, much to the delight of spectators nearby, including someone on a paddleboard. The Centre for Whale Research says World Orca Day is about celebrating orcas and raising awareness to protect them. What an amazing sight.
Amazing.
And there have been a lot more sightings of orcas in local waters, and you were out kayaking. You should have just gone a little further. Right?
I'm not going out in the open ocean. I'll stay really close to my little False Creek area that's calmer, but that's amazing. One day, Mijang.
Yeah, maybe they'll head into False Creek one day.
I hope they don't. That would be dangerous for them. All right, it was not too bad today. Definitely not as hot as we saw on the weekend. It was cooler, and we're seeing mostly sunny skies out there after a cloudy start. Here is a look at temperatures across the lower mainland. 25 at the harbor, 26 in Burnaby. You're looking at 25s in Pitt Meadows and in Abbotsford as well. Chilliwack sitting at 24 degrees along with Surrey. So as we head through the overnight, it'll be warm, it'll be clear, it'll be calm into tomorrow. Sunny skies once again, 28 degrees near the water, 33 degrees inland. Factoring that humidex, it'll feel like 36, and it will be a blustery start, especially near the water.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next trip by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
So it'll be hot the next few days, but we get a little bit of relief coming in the weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it was warm today, but the breeze was nice.
Yes, that helped
really
for sure.
cooled things off. Okay, thanks,
You're
Sam.
welcome.
The Conservatives are calling on Prime Minister Mark Carney to sell the assets in his blind trust to avoid any possible conflicts of interest. Also ahead.
I think this is a chance at getting peace.
U.S. President Donald Trump announces new weapons for Ukraine and threatens punishing sanctions on buyers of Russian exports. That's ahead. Thousands of people took part in the final bull run of Spain's San Fermin festival, and at least 4 were injured. The 9-day event sees runners sprint to avoid bulls charging through the narrow streets of Pamplona each morning. Officials say hundreds are injured annually. While gorings are not rare, most people get injured in falls and pileups. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is sounding the alarm over investments Mark Carney had before being sworn in as Prime Minister. Before entering politics, Mark Carney sat on the boards of Brookfield Asset Management and the credit card software company Stripe. He has millions of dollars of assets in the 2 companies, which he put in a blind trust. But new disclosures filed by Carney to the Ethics Commissioner reveal that Brookfield and Stripe own or control more than 100 other corporations, including clean energy businesses and real estate.
The list of potential conflicts goes on and on. How can he possibly be involved in developing a budget when all the tax policies could impact on his investments directly or indirectly?
The Commissioner's office says the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff and the Privy Council clerk will be in charge of screening Carney's government decisions to ensure no companies get preferential treatment. But Poilievre wants the Prime Minister to sell all his assets and give the funds to a trustee to invest. Donald Trump is working with NATO allies to send billions in weapons to Ukraine as the U.S. president poses an ultimatum for Russia to end its war there. Trump has set a 50-day deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire or else face 100% secondary tariffs. In terms of sanctions, Russia has already been hit hard, and U.S.-Russia trade is way down. But experts say secondary tariffs on other Russian buyers would make a difference.
When you see the largest importers of China and India being pummeled, that's where it's really going to hit Russia.
There's also a U.S. Senate bill that looks at imposing 500% secondary tariffs on Russia. But today, Trump suggested that move won't be necessary. The U.S. is also backing Ukraine by sending billions of dollars of military equipment, including Patriot missile defense systems. NATO allies will foot the bill, an idea first pitched by Ukraine's president during last month's NATO summit. Despite the ongoing threat of U.S. tariffs, a health food company in Ontario is finding a way to thrive. Healthy Crunch has been making non-allergenic, nut-free and gluten-free foods since 2014, but has seen the most success this year. The company has been able to grow 40%, something the owner links to the Buy Canada movement and new export destinations outside North America.
I think that what January 2025 taught us with the initial set of tariffs is that you have to diversify your retail customer base. So we already started to expand into the UK, into Spain, into Asia, Australia.
Healthy Crunch also recently started selling in American stores like Whole Foods, Target, and Walmart. While U.S. growth has been successful so far, the company has been told it will have to absorb the cost if Trump makes good on his threat of 35% tariffs on August the 1st. The Calgary Stampede is wrapped. They were hoping for an all-time attendance record. The story coming up, also ahead.
With that hail and all that, you couldn't even see probably 10 feet in front of you.
A powerful hailstorm pummeled parts of Calgary, damaging cars and destroying gardens. That story ahead.
It's come in like 60, 70 mile an hour or more, I guess. Knocked one of my trees down, and the backyard just looks like a war zone.
A fierce summer storm swept through Calgary overnight with strong winds and hail pounding parts of the city. Trees and gardens were hit the hardest, leaving homeowners with a huge cleanup job. Despite the damage, local insurance brokers say they haven't had any claims yet, a stark contrast to the billions of dollars in damage the city saw after a hailstorm last year. While that storm put a damper on the final day of the Calgary Stampede, it didn't stop thousands from turning out. This year's event fell just shy of an overall attendance record. CTV's Jordan Canagan has more on the successes and challenges.
The soggy Stampede cleanup is underway. Crews are dismantling and loading up equipment after more than 1.4 million people passed through the gates this year. Overall, attendance falling just 7,600 people short of a new record.
That's not the focal point. The focal point needs to be the experience we are providing on park. Because if everyone who comes on this park has an outstanding experience, they're more likely to come back in the future.
This year's event didn't go off without its challenges. On Saturday, a horse was euthanized after suffering a broken leg during the Rangeland Derby.
We have asked law enforcement to investigate what happened leading to this animal's death. There are animal protection laws in this province that prohibit causing distress to animals, and rodeo events should not be considered exempt from that law.
Safety for Stampede goers is also a concern. On Tuesday, 3 teenagers were assaulted and stabbed on the Midway, and overcrowding at Coke Stage concerts has officials considering changes.
The Coke Stage presentation, whether that involve additional crowd control measures or evaluating which artists are placed on the Coke Stage.
But there's no doubt the Stampede is a top draw in the country.
The greatest demand came from within Canada, with over half of the hotel rooms sold coming from Canadians all over the country. The other points of demand were growth from Australia, Mexico, Central America.
Organizations are benefiting too. Leftover food from the 5 restaurants at GMC Stadium are being donated and distributed to dozens of community groups to hand out to those with food insecurity.
We serve over 564,000 Calgarians in Calgary throughout the year, and this donation will go to over 444,000 of our clients that we serve.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
A severe windstorm churned up Osoyoos Lake, flipping over a sailboat. Also ahead, a local photographer knew she had a winner when she came across this rotund rodent, where she spotted the massive marmot that has now gone viral. That's ahead. Heads up for anyone planning a vacation, you'll want to look before you book. One couple made a simple mistake booking their trip and ended up losing more than $4,000. We'll have that right after Anne's forecast. But first, a windstorm caused chaos across the Okanagan this afternoon. A sailboat got swept away as winds gusted in Osoyoos Lake. It was quite a sight for beachgoers as whitecaps formed and trees rocked violently. In nearby Oliver, the fire department said it was busy responding to multiple calls related to the windstorm, including downed power lines, a small grass fire, and a car crash. Yeah, you don't want to be on the water when you see the white caps forming.
Definitely a lot. Yeah, so we saw peak winds at 61 kilometers an hour, Princeton at 67, Penticton and Kelowna at 59 kilometer hour winds. So yes, very gusty this afternoon, but right now things have calmed down quite nicely. We are looking at current winds across the Okanagan. Princeton at 9, Penticton at 33, 24 kilometers an hour winds right now for Kelowna, and Osoyoos you're looking at about, it's underneath my banner, so that's okay. Castlegar at 11, 20 from the north for Osoyoos. So we're still dealing with severe thunderstorm watches in place for Elk Valley, and that will continue through this afternoon as that system moves its way through. As you can see on our satellite radar imagery, so active weather will continue as we head through the afternoon early this evening before it slides towards the southeast. We do have a ridge of high pressure for the south coast and southern Okanagan into the central interior, and it'll strengthen as we head into the next few days. So bringing with it some hot temperatures once again as we head into tomorrow, as well as Wednesday and Thursday, slowly cooling off as we head into Friday, but still above seasonal temperatures. Lots of sunshine in store for the central coast and central interior. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. You're looking at a mix of sun and cloud for Port Hardy tomorrow with a high of 20 degrees, warming up to 31s for Campbell River and Comox under sunny skies. Lots of sunshine for the South Island as well, from Tofino right down to Victoria, with temperatures temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees. 29s for the Sunshine Coast, a touch hotter up the Sea to Sky Highway for Squamish at 30, Whistler at 29 as well. And for us across the Lower Mainland, it'll be windy near the water tonight into tomorrow morning. Sunny skies. We'll see temperatures between 28 degrees near the water, 33 degrees inland heading into Wednesday. Temperatures between 26 and 32. On Thursday, we'll see temperatures between 25 and 30. Few clouds roll in on Friday, a touch cooler, but still above seasonal with temperatures between 23 and 27. And those of you who don't like hot weather, well, Saturday, a little bit of a relief. Mostly cloudy skies, a few showers, and 21 degrees. It stays mostly cloudy on Sunday at 21, and then on Monday, cooling down to 20 under a mix of sun and cloud. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So a little bit of relief on Saturday, not a lot of rain, but we'll take what we can get with a few showers.
It's nice to have, you know, a bit of a mixture.
Yes.
We enjoy the sunshine, but by the time, you know, we've had 3 or 4 days of that extreme heat, we want it a little cooler, right?
Yeah, so that was today, and then 3 more days of extreme heat.
All right, thanks, Anna. Booking a vacation can be expensive, so you'll want to be extra careful entering your information to avoid mistakes. A couple accidentally booked a resort stay, and when they canceled it shortly after, they were shocked to be denied a refund. CTV's Pat Foran has that story.
Lizanne Hasmatali of London and her husband have been married for 1 year, and in March they plan to go to Jamaica to celebrate the honeymoon they never had. But when they were online booking a resort, they made a mistake.
Right after we booked it, we realized that it just included the hotel option. So we canceled it immediately, and we were going to rebook it properly.
Hasmatali says after she canceled the booking with plans to rebook the same resort with airfare included, she was shocked to find out the booking was non-refundable, and she would not be getting back almost $4,200 for the hotel stay.
They saw that we canceled within 10 minutes, and it doesn't matter. What mattered is that it was non-refundable.
The couple had saved for the trip, so without a refund, they were unable to book the resort again and ended up having to stay home.
We spent this whole year saving for it, and then something as simple like this, as a simple mistake, you just lose it all.
The couple booked the trip through Expedia. A spokesperson told CTV News, if a traveler makes a mistake on a non-refundable booking, the decision whether or not to allow additional flexibility is up to the hotel.
It's so important to take your time when you're making a booking.
The Travel Industry Council of Ontario, TICO, says there is no cooling off period when booking a trip, so it's important to make sure you check the booking details carefully. Richard Smart says using a registered travel agent can help avoid mistakes. If you do book a trip yourself, check the refund policy.
Look before you book. Be very careful. Read those terms and conditions.
After CTV News reached out to Expedia, TICO did as well, and Expedia agreed to give the couple a full refund, saying we worked with the hotel to provide a refund as a one-time courtesy. That was great news for Hasmatali, who can now use the money towards a future vacation.
Thank you, CTV, for doing all that you did to help us get the money back. We're very grateful, and we're glad that it worked out.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
A first-time golfer pulls off an ace. How the Snack Shack employee pulled off a hole-in-one for the ages. Plus, Michael and Marie. Adam finds out how a couple in Sydney is celebrating 65 years of marriage in an unexpected way. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's a preview of CTV Morning Live.
Home ownership in Vancouver is still out of reach for many people, even as affordability improves across the country. Tuesday on CTV Morning Live, why it's so difficult to buy in the region. Also, experts say loneliness is a global health crisis, why they say it's an issue that needs urgent action. Plus, Ontario bakers take the crown from BC for the biggest Nanaimo bar ever recorded. We'll see you in the morning.
News, weather, and traffic. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, weekdays 6 to 9.
An 18-year-old baseball player from Coquitlam is heading to the big leagues after being drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. Tim Piacentin, a third baseman, went 143rd overall in the 5th round of the MLB draft. The 6'3" left-handed hitter previously played with Canada's junior national team and the Okotoks Dogs. Piacentin is known for hard hits, with some balls leaving the bat at over 177 kilometers an hour. He's committed to the University of Miami, but the Jays will look to sign him straight out of high school. It's something all golfers dream of, and one young woman did it on her very first round.
At first, I was kind of like, oh, yay, great. And then everyone was like, oh, my God, like my friend Emily, she cried. And I was just like, what? Why are you crying? And then, yeah, I just kind of thought everyone got a hole-in-one, like maybe every few rounds.
Emma Strong got a hole-in-one in her first time golfing. Strong is from England and is working at the Kananaskis golf course for the summer. She was talked into playing by a friend and quickly realized her talent. However, the rest of her round was rough and her second game didn't go much better. She jokes she may have to retire from golf while she's ahead. I can't believe she got a hole in one. I'd be happy if I get that in miniature golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Sounds like it was just a coincidence.
Yeah. Just a lucky hit. Okay, a marmot in Kamloops is stealing hearts and going viral after a local photographer spotted something unusual. Just take a look at this guy. Taylor Borth was exploring MacArthur Island Park on July 6th when the rodent's rotund figure stopped her in her tracks and prompted a photo shoot that has since gone viral. Borth says it's now her favorite wildlife shot ever, and the marmot is her phone background.
Of course.
Great
I love chunky animals.
There must be a lot of food in that park.
He's eating a lot.
She's eating well.
Needs to exercise maybe a touch more.
Nah.
All right, Mary, what's coming up tonight on your late news?
We'll have more on the windstorm in the Okanagan. We spoke to one girl vacationing in a Soyuz. She says everyone had to be cleared off the main beach there. That's very busy this time of year with lots of tourists. Boats are sinking, trees are down, debris is everywhere, and the power is out. Lots of people hunkering down, waiting out the storm. We'll have more at 11:30. Nijo?
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Okay, thanks, Mary. A couple on Vancouver Island got a wedding do-over 65 years after saying I do. The groom was determined to give his bride the wedding she deserved, even though she can't remember their original one. Adam explains in tonight's Encore Sawatsky sign-off.
As Michael Ray looks back to when he and Marie first met, when this was him and that was her, they were both confident they'd eventually vow to have and to hold.
This was the girl for me, and fortunately, she thought I was the man for her.
And vowing for richer or poorer wouldn't be a problem, because they were already beyond broke.
And the lady who was fitting us up said, should you be getting married if you can't afford the ring?
Well, the ring could be paid off in installments. Staging a ceremony or buying a wedding dress was simply impossible.
The first year was very, very difficult.
But money doesn't matter, they were told. And after 65 happy years of marriage, both agreed unconditional love does.
She always knows me, but she doesn't know we're married.
Since being diagnosed with dementia, Marie can't remember vowing in sickness and in health, but she never seems to forget how to fall in love with Michael.
And she says, you know, we get on well. Why don't we get married?
So he accepted her proposal, vowing a ceremony different than the last.
And she wanted us to get married and have a wedding dress. So that's why we're doing it for her.
The director of the Sydney care home, Joan Smith, says the residents have made decorations while the nurses are moonlighting as makeup artists.
We've got hidden talents that we didn't know we had.
But then, after countless hours of volunteering, a 103-year-old flower girl creates a path of petals, and the bride begins approaching her groom, wearing the sort of elegant dress she'd always dreamed of.
Age has not withered her looks in the slightest. If anything, it's enhanced them.
And after renewing their vows, Michael thanked Marie for teaching him so much about living life and loving well.
Love is giving, caring, helping them to become everything they're able to become.
Well, even though memories fade, Marie couldn't have been happier to become his bride this day. A reminder of a feeling she can't seem to forget. Being loved every day. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Sydney.
That is so sweet. I'm getting Notebook vibes.
Yes, so adorable.
So gorgeous, and they look so happy. I mean, she deserves to have that beautiful wedding redo.
Yes, and everybody, life's too short. Everybody should have a wedding redo every now and again.
Yeah, it was nice that the whole care home got in on the wedding too.
Yeah. Beautiful flowers, beautiful dress. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. A hungry hummingbird grabbing a snack in Kitsilano. Thanks, Deborah, for sending this shot in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Never get tired of seeing hummingbirds.
Right? That was just for you.
Yeah, they're always buzzing around our garden. I'm just fascinated by them. All right, thanks, Anne. Mary's back at 11:30. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Good night.